Hey guys, it's officially time for live reading sprints. Let me just get the tweet out and realize. Um, hey guys, I just whole spiel, but welcome to Barful Honestly, where honest wonder and astonishment takes up space. I'm Megs, and welcome to the channel. Um, I'm gonna be doing some reading sprints today. I'm really am trying to be good about getting out of my bubble and not only just enjoying things in my own space, but also sharing that with others as well. And that's what I'm like really focused on this year, just to help not just myself grow as a person, but I just want to share things I like basically. And what better way to do that than to go live for reading sprints here on YouTube and read what I'm currently reading. So, yeah, this is a little bit though about myself. I work in retail. I'm from California, and I am also I write for fun at times, mainly on my Substack called marvelhonestly.substack.com, and I just put out a article today, part of a series that I do, which is called The Viewing Globe, where I actually just write about what I'm indulged in for the week in the week of with in regards to wrestling, pop culture, and some other things as well. This past week, I wrote about my Twitter interaction with a West Coast Pro wrestler who just won the Golden Gate Championship. Um, I watched it. I turned that on a whim, and I was like watching that show. It was a really good show, and I was actually shocked at the result of it, and me voicing that shock because I thought that the person who originally had that title was going to retain, but he didn't. So I just thought that the reaction I got from the person who took that title was hilarious, and I had to share that in this week's piece. I also did talk about what happened on NXT because I'm an NXT girl, and I also talked about a little bit about the segment with Mercedes and Bull Nightingale on AEW Dynamite. And then I also did mention the show The Traitors. Because I love reality TV shows. I grew up watching those, and I've been watching a lot of different people who are on this season, and I had to tune in, and I had a load of thoughts, mainly about Rob Sesternino, who unfortunately, spoiler alert, was murdered, was killed. Okay, he was taken out by the traitors in a murder in plain sight situation for the game. So I was really talking about that. But like honestly, truly, like I said, if you're Mercedes Monet and Rob C, stay away from a conga line because that's doesn't bode well for you guys. So yeah, that was mainly it for that piece. And I also did mention I'm basically telling you what's in there, but there's also something I'm going to try and do more of. It's like also shedding light on some matches that I did watch for that week that I didn't really mention in the other moments from the past week. So I'm not going to mention those, but go check those out and go read the article. It is now live on Substack. Um, so yeah, I'm going to try and do those a lot more frequently in the new year. That's really what I want to like just push out as well. And yeah, but let's get into the sprint. I'm going to be reading um, The Last Hart Beating by Nattie Neidhart. Um, I know Nattie as Natalia from the WWE, and she has been the boat. She is not just a legend, but a low key legend. And she is sharing her story in her memoir. It's very raw and honest about her life growing up a bit in the Hart family, even with her dad also marrying into the family, becoming a wrestler as well, and how that kind of helped inform her mindset as a person and also as a wrestler, like going into business when she decided, yeah, I do want to do this. Um, so, yeah, I actually have to read this book for book club. I joined a book club. I think this is my first. This is the second book club I think I've joined since I've been in the bookish space. I think, but I'm actually gonna be talking to people, and we're going to be doing our first book club meeting next Saturday. So I need to make a good bit into this so that I am well equipped because they're like, yeah, if you just started the book, it's okay. If you are in the middle of it, that's fine. If you didn't finish it, that's okay too. But me, I need a challenge. And so my goal is to finish this book before book club. Um, so we're going to do that. Excuse me. So I'm going to get this time started any moment now. And we're going to read this book. If you guys are reading anything as well, let me know in the chat. And let's have a good time. So it is currently 7:31, and I'm going to get this 30-minute sprint started. I'm going to really just probably do 30 minutes, 25 minutes, and then 20 minutes. And I'll probably do another 25-minute one to end. I might do it in 30. We'll see how this goes, and how long I can not be on my phone either too. So yeah. All right. I'm gonna hit the start button for this if I can see it on my screen really quickly. Where am I at? Where am I at? All right. It is currently 7:32. We're gonna get this 30-minute sprint started right now. Please, I need to move this over actually so that I can see this big monitor. Yeah, that works. And I'm gonna put myself on mute. Yeah. Well. Okay, that was the first sprint that I did for the night. Yay me! Um, I'm actually at page 124, in part three of Nattie's book, and now I'm really getting to her official start in WWE, going from developmental in FCW, in being the only wrestler of sorts that they had to really lean on to help get the girls together, because at that time it wasn't a lot of like actual women's wrestlers. They were getting the models from casting calls and other things, but reading about like how she was really the one to lean on for the ladies down in FCW, especially like helping out the Bellas and other ladies who needed help. Like she was the one that they leaned on a lot for letting them get in the ropes and do what they can. So that was very interesting to read. I didn't really have much of an opinion on Nattie when I first started watching WWE. I just knew like she was like someone who's been there around there. Because I watched Show Divas. I thought she was cool. Her time on there was not too bad to me. And so seeing her when I was starting to actually watch WWE past few years, I was like, okay, yeah, this is the boat. I know Nattie. But now knowing what I know about Nattie as the low key legend, she is a legend. She really did help create some foundation within like the divas of the modern 2000s, I would say probably era. Um, and she really was an asset to that division at the time. And I'm about to get into, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not. I don't really care. Um, her actual main roster debut, and that is going to be very interesting because she's going to be um, feuding with Michelle McCool, which is hilarious in hindsight, given what I just read. But yeah, that's where I'm currently at right now in the book. Um, I had a thought and I totally forgot it. If anyone's here in the chat, say hi. Say what's up. Um, I'm really just here. I got 7 minutes left for this break until we get into the next sprint. I should probably change this down to 25. So I did say I was going to do the next sprint for 25 minutes. So I'm going to do that at some point before this break ends. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. And I can't stop thinking about the fact that this first impression that Nattie had on everybody is just making me laugh, and I had to annotate that. So if you guys see me like kind of leaning down on camera, the book's right here, but it's also on the desk down below because I need some notes. And I've actually been annotating the book. Let me actually push myself off of let me go. Let me push myself here. Nope, let me push myself here. Actually, hello, people. This is where I am right now. This is how my annotations are going for the book. Like I said, I'm actually having a good time with it. Nattie is being very raw and honest about her experience, so that's why I can really commend. It's really frank. Like a lot of people are very, I would say, honest and raw in their memoirs. However, I feel like Nattie really just laid it all out there, basically. So yeah, this is where I am. This is also the cover. It's so cool. I like the cover. Um, so this is what I'm reading for the Wrestling Wind Down book club. So I feel like if I do a temp check to see what percentage I actually am of in the book. I'll probably say almost halfway through it, so I'm making good progress. Because I can literally just read a book. I can read. I can. Just want to get. I don't know. I just want to get this done this week. But I can read books in a good pace. When I just like carve out the right time to do it. But I be reading. My goal from last year. I'm gonna put myself of this week. Yeah. Hey, my goal for last year was 25 books. I tend to always go over that. I kind of double it. So right now, not right now. Hello, so I doubled it, and I actually finished the year reading 52 books. It was lower than I had in 2024, but still productive nonetheless. I know a lot of people like got really weird. People get really weird about book counts and reading goals at the end of the year. I'm like, why are you mad if someone read over 100 books? There are people on my timeline that actually read thousands of books last year. Like, big props to them, okay? Big props. But I just do my maybe at least 50 books. I think one year I did do over 100. Um, but that was when I had more time. I feel like if I make more time and actually follow through with like finishing some books, I would probably get back to that. But I am really settled on just reading about 50, almost 100. I can feel like I can probably push to 100, but I feel like I'm really good around the 50, 60 mark with a lot of my reads. I do tend to read a lot of like different varying page kind of books. Like I read books like this where it's like over 200 pages, or I would read shorter books under like 50 pages, books that are up to at least 100 pages, or even like just like 24. Like I like a novella, but they get to the point for the most part. Have a good time with those. I love a comic as well. I tend to read comics every now and then throughout the year because I'm also into the comic things. Because don't tell me I cannot read a Power Rangers comic or a Marvel comic, um, or even like a deep cuts storyline by Kyle Higgins. Like, hey, I'm gonna read that because I know this year I'm gonna try and get more into reading more comics because Marvel is getting back into their bag with the movies this year. Obviously, Doomsday happening at the end of the year, so we're gonna get into that. But in the meantime, let me be quiet for a second and not ramble because I'm gonna get this next sprint going in a second. I just need to change my options for the time frame because we're gonna do this next sprint at 25 minutes, and we're gonna get that going at any moment now. Obviously you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing, but we're gonna get this going at any moment now. Once this 1 minute break gets over. But yeah, if you guys are in the chat, let me know what you guys are reading and what are your reading goals for this year, if you do have any. If it's one book, cool. I applaud you. If it's more than one, I give you more applause as well. But I just hope you guys are getting into something that you really enjoy this year as well, and finding something that you actually like to read and whatnot. So, yeah, we're under a minute left of this break, and I'm going to dial it back over to the Pomodoro Kitty. That's my favorite Pomodoro, actually. Use when I do read to get things done. So, yeah, that's really it. I'm waiting till like this goes down. My patience is just like, come on, let's get this time going. So, yeah. But like I said, I'm at page 124, and we'll see how far I can get to soon. I'm going to turn this back on, set time, and we're going to hit start. I'm going to turn this thing back on as well so you can see the Pomodoro go on. And yeah, let's have a good time reading. And yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm going back on mute. Hello, and the second sprint is now done. That was a decent 25 minutes of reading. Did I get any further in this book from the last time we chatted? I sort of did. I feel like in 25 minutes I can get more than 10 pages done. But in this fast sprint, I only got 10 pages. But neither here or there. Um, Nattie was going through it within. Let me put myself back on the jumbotron. Excuse me. Nattie was going through it. Okay, that lady was going through it. While on main roster by herself. I feel so bad for her. Like she was really on the ringer. Like you really, but I will say, the match she did have with Michelle McCool, I got to go find it because I want to see the actual match because of what was described. I feel like it was actually decent for what that time was. But also, I need to go find a photo of how Nattie's hair was at that time because but how she described it was atrocious as well. But Nattie was going through the ringer by herself. No TJ, no Bella Twins. And folks that she knew in FCW were not there yet. But my word, she was going through it. And she was going insane. I know it for sure. But yeah, that's where I am. But right now, I'm currently at 134. Let me, in percentage of in total of this book, so let me do the math. Let me put it in my story graph. See where I am because I have not updated since I was reading at work. Because the last time I updated my story graph of my progress of this book was a few days ago when I was at 107 pages. So right now I'm at, technically I finished 133 pages, so nine pages since we last chatted. Currently in the book I'm at 46%, so almost halfway, almost there. I'm still doing my little annotations. I feel like let me read one of my annotations because honestly, I felt so bad. And it was a moment when her and Michelle learned that their match was cut down to 4 minutes of, mind you. The ladies didn't have a lot of time back then either. Like they tried, but they gave them 4 minutes for a championship match. But like I said, they did work. I should actually go find that match and watch it and see how it was because I feel like the way that she described it for the time how it was actually decent, like I said. But you couldn't do too much in 4 minutes. It's basically a squash match. Like the women in WWE at that time were barely getting time, and then getting cut when they do get time, they get a cut. And they were just background being extra hands. That was it. When you put two women who were actually like willing to want to actually be wrestlers for a Divas Championship, Vince was like, "Oh no, see, y'all only getting 4 minutes for the pay per view. 4 minutes. That is in these times. This in 2026, that is a squash match. What all can you really do in a 4-minute match? Let's give you a few sequences, and you're done. That's it. I'm still very astounded by that fact. But this shows like how far like that division has come in the past 26 years. Dang it. So yeah. That's where I am in the book right now. But I did also want to and then shout out people, I guess. Sure. I don't know what I'm saying, but I really just want to say shout out to the ladies of WWE who have like broken those barriers. Like I feel like seeing Nattie and Michelle, reading about them and how that championship and then ladies now today, really like being part of like a new revived evolution of the women's division in WWE, and also investing overall. Like y'all are killing it. I feel like on a WWE side, obviously we got like folks like Nomi who was in the Divas era, and she's still around as well. Granted, now she's on leave, but her her growth as a wrestler over the years has been such a joy to watch. People of the ladies of today who are killing it, um, Rhea Ripley, Mercedes Moné, Bailey. Um, I feel like of the younger side, people around my age, um, Willow Nightingale, my beloved Willow Nightingale, um, Chris Statlander, Tony Storm, folks on the indies like Charity King, My World, who now is on AEW. You know, shout out to her, the it girl. Um, who else on the indies? I feel like, or other people. There's so many different women who are really like standouts. In 2026, 2025, who are killing it. And it's such a delight to see them like go out there and really be themselves. And I feel like that's a testament to also like how Nattie was, and how she still is. That she's always herself. Even though they try to like get her to be like everybody else, like she was still herself, nevertheless. So yeah. I feel like for some of these friends too, I might not just talk about the books. I don't want to like spoil the books that I read, but because I feel like if it's like a more nonfiction that like folks know prep knowledge about, I'm just gonna just like give thoughts about things that y'all probably know. If it's fiction book, I'm not spoiling it. I'm gonna try and just like kind of like give non-context spoilers. Um, so I'm not giving the whole book, but I feel like too I want to be able to talk about other things happening um currently in like wrestling, not just wrestling, but like the pop culture and like other things that like kind of like I've had my eye on. So like probably after this next sprint, I'll probably just like give my quick dots on some of the stuff that I did watch. Not only the stuff I mentioned in the Viewing Globe piece. If you guys want to read that, it is linked in the description below. Um, from this past week, I just chatted a little bit about what I watched. I watched West Coast Pro Wrestling last Sunday, and after my watch of it, I got waxed, and I'm still laughing about that. That's just hilarious. And then I also watched NXT. I watch NXT a lot. Like that's one of my shows. I feel like I'm trying to hone in on my rotation of wrestling shows. I actually watch too. Like not only do I watch WWE, I watch AEW. Um, I watch some indie shows. Shout out to Ashe because that's like one of my favorite things I look forward to every month. Obviously, like this month they're like on hold, but they'll be back for Black History Month for the February show. I'm always looking forward to watching Ashe because I love what they have going on. And a lot of those folk on that roster are a hoot and a holler, and I have a laugh every time I see them on my screen. Specifically, I would say the Ashe Men's Champion, Darius Carter. Um, he's hilarious. He is really a heel that I love to hate, but I also have to be a fan of. I feel like there are certain people I will probably talk about this in some way, form at some points. But there's certain like wrestlers because of their characters I love to hate, and I respect the player in the game because like you're hilarious, and I have to like give you your tens. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna also let me while I'm still chatting, I'm gonna move this next sprint down to 20 minutes. And then when we do that, um, I'll come back again after that 20 minutes. This next sprint and chat more. I feel like I might actually dive to Um, Pomodoro was like, "Hey, it's time you to stop talking. I'm gonna stop you right there." But I feel like after this next sprint, I will likely like talk about something that's happened this week. I might actually talk to traders. Let me pause some of the wrestling talk. I gotta get more takes off about the traders because I did mention that in the Viewing Globe piece, and I didn't say the man's name because I don't want to give that man no more attention because like he be finding folks. But that loud mouth from New York, I don't like you. I'm just gonna say I don't like you. Um, So, and that could really be like about like so many other people. But if you watch the traders and you know who I'm talking about, yeah, um, just loud and wrong for no reason. And I have to like side with Yam Yam, and I like Yam Yam, but like, come on now, like you really are ruining the experience for a lot of us who are watching the show because you have no business being on this show. You're ruining the experience. But I'm not gonna rant about that anymore. I'm gonna probably just like say something else. But let's get into this next sprint. It is a 20-minute sprint. And I will see you guys on the flip side once I press start. So yeah, all right, let's do this. Well, I was on mute, but I've made my progress since I last talked to y'all and the last time. I'm 20 pages removed from where I last saw y'all. Um, and honestly, things got better, but then got worse again for Nattie. In a matter of moments. Um, However, I feel like it's like life was just life, basically. So that's where I'm at right now. Right now, if I put this in, I'm probably halfway through this book. Because I've made 20 more minutes through. But yeah, I thought I was gonna yap about something else from this past week for this part of the break. Also, I do think really quick before I do stop because I wanted to end this actually around 9:30. I feel like I may do like a smaller little quick sprint after this break, which will get me to. I might take it to 9:45 just so I can do a full like 20 after this because like we got 8 minutes left. Or I might just cut this break short. Actually, I'll cut once probably at the 5 minute mark so I can get out of here and go to bed because I should do have to go to work tomorrow. So we're gonna do probably another 20 minute sprint to get us around the 9:30 mark. Ish. We'll do that. But really quick before this is gonna be the last break before I fully end it. But I will say I feel like from this past week, auction traders, please don't. I feel like we need to probably put Portia back on television again. Only because like if you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know Portia just be saying things. Um, and that lady was just saying so many random things. Partially, so part of it, she was kind of right in some points where like y'all knew like there were actually four traders, because there was a secret trader created. Um, However, Portia just kept putting her foot in her mouth at certain points while she was still on that show, and I'm like, ma'am, sometimes being quiet helps you. So yeah, that's just like one little tidbit I had from the traders. But I feel like the next time I actually do get on here and do these sprints, I'm gonna actually have an actual good rundown. Um, because I don't want to just be on here and just ramble about things. Like rambling is cool when it's like honed in on a certain thing. I want to do that. So yeah, now so it depends on me for the next time I do this sprints. But yeah, like I said, we're this is the first day out of the new year for this, and I already know like what I want to do better for next time. Like every sprint run is going to be different and try me better from the previous time. So yeah, but yeah, I think too. Like I feel like I also want to be more focused on the Substack. Like I said, I have a piece out today that was really my reoccurring Green Globe piece that I talk about what I'm watching, what kind of piqued my interest in the past week. I want to do more of those as the months go on throughout the weeks, and also put into our bookish things too because I'm not just a wrestling girly. Like I just came into this. I've been a book girly for the last few years. I've been a basketball girly for my whole life. I've been a reality TV girl for my whole life. I've been a Paradise girl for years. So I want to be able to not just like talk about the books and the wrestling here on the channel, but I want to talk about all my other favorite things because those things make me whole. So yeah, as we're getting closer to 9:15, or 9:15. I have under a minute left. So I'm gonna set this up really quick. And then I'll do this last sprint, and then I will close this out for the evening. Um, I can really do a 15-minute sprint actually. Now that I'm like, I can just do that because why not? Because it is currently 9:15. Though it does get us to um 9:30. That's when I want to get out of here. So we're gonna get through this last sprint and have a good time. Cause I've had a good time getting through this book. I feel like I'm halfway through this right now, and we're continuing to make good progress. And I'm on pace to finish this by the end of the week at this point. So let's get to the sprint, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Okay, I'm going. Goodbye. Let me put this on the big screen. All right. That was the last sprint of the day. Um, and I made good progress. Um, I mean, just put this last annotation notes on here. um, all I said was yeah on this last one, which is so hilarious. Um, but I made good progress. I made it to the last next chapter, the end of the next chapter of sorts. Oh, that was my bookmark. But let me grab it things actually. So, but I made really, really good progress in comparison to where I was when I started. Um, I made really good progress. I'm up to page 169 as where I stopped. I might actually read some more offline, but this was actually good productive reading nights. I read some of this book earlier too when I was at work, and I am perfectly on track to actually finish this probably in the next few days, way before um, I do book club, which I'm really excited for being part of. Let me take off my screen share so I can just be on the screen by myself. But yeah, I really enjoyed the progress I made. I made the perfect bit that I wanted to make, even with like other things happening offline. But I had time, and I'm excited for what is to come even more in the next two chapters of the book, and I feel like I'm finding even more of a respect for Nattie as a wrestler and also a woman as well, because I do find some similarities within both of us while reading this book. So yeah, even though she's a big WWE star, um, just pulling back the layers of her in the book, you can find those similarities. I feel like with her and yourself as well. So I really do. I feel like I do recommend you guys go picking up this book. um, this is my third wrestling book that I've actually read. I've Last year I read Becky's autobiography to start the year, and then I also read Moxley's autobiography. I read Becky's also physically, and I ended up bringing it on audio because I wanted to hear her narrate it, and then I did listen to Mox's audiobook, and that was really good too. I feel like between the three that I've read so far, um, I think it's between honestly Mox and Nattie's as my two favorites of the three. I did read another wrestling book last year by David Shoemaker from The Ringer. Um, that book was called before I go. What was that called? Actually, I would forget it. I literally read it last year, but it was many moons ago that I read it. Um, Let me go to my wrap up from last year. Yeah, I'm tired. This is why I was like, I need to end this at around 9:30 ish before 10 so that I can go to bed. But David Shoemaker's book that I read last year was called The Squared Circle, and that was merely a good history um, of wrestling in a sense, um, and its cultural impact as well. So those are the books I read wrestling wise last year and right now, obviously. I hope to read some more because I did. I have one book on my wish list right now that I saw one of the guys from the infantry read last year. So I really want to grab that book and see what it's about. I feel like that's really like getting the mind of a wrestler even more too. Um, just from like the technique and just the mindset, like I said. So, um, yeah, I want to read that book this year too. So we'll see if I get to be able to read it. But with that, I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna log off and and get done with my day. But I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Even if you weren't in the chat, just you popped on just to see what I was doing. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. If you guys want to follow me on social, you can. My socials are also in the description box below. And yeah, also follow the Substack at substack.com. Marvelhonestly.substack.com. Go read my previous works on there and read the latest one, like I said, that came out today. And I should have probably some more of my writings up this month as well. We're going to get on it to really like push that as well. But that's it. That's all. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Let's do this again another day. So, yeah. All right. Stay fly. Have a good day. Bye.